So I want to thank everyone again for joining us today. We appreciate your time. And we know that, every minute of your day is valuable because everyone's really busy. And that's where products like Slingshot can really help time savings. It can help organize your teams. They can help you make data-driven decisions. And part of that today, what we're going to see is how to make data-driven decisions with Google Ads. And you're also going to see a little bit of Slingshot and how the product works and really how you can implement it in your organization to not only boost team productivity, but encourage collaboration, encourage that data-driven culture that we all are striving for to make better business decisions faster, because ultimately that drives the bottom line. If you have any questions, please use the chat or the Q&A and you will get an answer. And then, of course, my name is Jason Barris, and I've also built the product from day one, but Casey is really an expert across all of the capabilities and features on what Slingshot can do. So I'm looking forward to for her demo today. So we're going to look at what a digital workplace really does for you. We're going to see how you can use Google Ads in your analytics. And then, of course, great demo. So Slingshot really is the all-in-one digital workplace boosting team results. One of the nice things about Slingshot, and we hear this all the time, is how nice the user experience is and how well it ties everything together. So Slingshot integrates data analytics, project management, chat, file management, goals, long-term strategy into a single application where you can work with your team, internal or external. So for example, at Infragistics, we have internal users, but we also work with third-party companies like PR agencies, consulting agencies, and other companies. They all can join in on the collaboration inside Slingshot. So that allows you to not only get those results within your organization, but results with third-party companies and partners as well. The goals here, of course, keep everyone in the know. Use data insights to make better, faster decisions, strive to accomplish those goals and track where you're at with those goals, and overall increase performance and accountability. With Slingshot, there's all kinds of capabilities in the product that really hits home each one of those 4 points that does deliver this promise of the all-in-one digital workplace. One of the things that you're going to see today that really supports that is the productivity flows. Productivity flows are the fastest way to get from point A to point B. A lot of our days are spent jumping between applications, figuring out where to go next. Where do I find this data? While within Slingshot, we have the concept of productivity flows where you can, for example, start a chat within a dashboard. You can share data or Excel files within a discussion with your team. You can collaborate on a task and have a bunch of subtasks, and they all have different types of artifacts, like maybe documents, maybe Excel files, maybe other dashboards, maybe images. But the point is, I'm not losing time going all over the place to find out where to find this piece of information or where to find that data point that I need to get to the next step. Productivity flows lets you do that with a single click, and really it does expedite how you can get faster results with your teams. So with that, I don't want to do too many slides. Let's go ahead and pass it over to Casey to share her screen, and we will kick off a demo. So Casey, you can take it away.
All right, so I'm going to start, since this webinar is highly focused on Google Ads. I am going to start there with our dashboard and analytics, but just quickly to kind of give like another brief overview of Slingshot, that you're going to see that in context of, think of Slingshot as, like Jason was saying, your all-in-one collaboration, where you have your overviews here, where you can see key insights about your different projects and workspaces. You have your project management, where you can really manage all of the different tasks and campaigns and budgeting and everything that goes into building out your Google Ad campaigns and maintaining them over every year, every month, and optimizing them. Where you have discussions that you can communicate with anybody working around your paid campaigns, whether it's your design handoff, your copyright handoff, whoever's doing the budgeting, whatever it might be, approval processes, you can communicate in here with all of those people. Where you have your pins, where you can store and maintain all of your digital assets, your research, your best practices, everything that you kind of need to keep top of mind for your team to easily find here. And then dashboards, where we're going to go through creating one for this specific project, but bringing together all of your analytics into beautiful dashboards that you can visualize your data. So we're going to add a dashboard within this PPC management project. And we're going to go to, well, you can first see some of the different data sources that I have used in here, where you have Salesforce, Google Analytics, HubSpot. You can see different Excel files. But for this to use Google Ads, if I come up to add a data source, and you can see all of the other ones that you can also connect to, but I'm going to go down to Google Ads here. I am going to hopefully remember my password. I was just...
Let's hope the web remembers what it is.
Yeah, I was just thinking as I started this, I was like, oh boy, I hope I don't run into a password situation. Let me just confirm this is me. Let's click allow. And just like that, I am now connected to my Google Ads here that you can see. So I do have within this account here, I have a sample data that we kind of use within here. So I think it is like a product branding campaign that we have in there. So I'm just going to give that as the name, add my data source. And now I'm in, I can pick all of the different resources and tables within Google Ads. So if you're, as I assume everybody on the phone is familiar with Google Ads, you can go into the table for your campaigns or your ad groups. For when you have videos, I think in the all resources here, if I type video, you have all the data around the video campaigns that you're running and everything like that. So in the popular ones, I'm going to go with the ad group level, and I'm going to select the data. So basically in each of your tables in that previous screen is what drives what dimensions are available to you over here. So this, as you can see, has things down to the ad group level. So it doesn't just stop at your campaign level. So for this campaign that we have inside of here for a sample, I'm going to just filter that first. So if I do name, I'm going to filter by rule. And it is all products search. I'm going to create this filter. And now I'm going to look at what I've spent for this campaign over time. Oh, God. Okay. So if I go to segments and I find date, I'll pull this over. And then if I go to here and I can do cost. And just like that, I'm connected into my real-time Google Ads data. I'm looking at this particular campaign and I'm seeing what we've spent over time. I can change this as well to look at by day, by month, by year, whatever it is that you want to do. So let's do actually month, and let's look a little bit further back, and let's do the last 365. And then since this is cost, let's change this to a currency, and we'll change this to spend. I'm actually going to use a line chart. I'll hit the check. And now I have my first visualization here. Now I can continue to add different charts. So if I do a duplicate here and I go to edit and I want to look at this now by my ad group, I will do a stacked column. I will come to my ad group dimensions. I will pull over name now to my category. And I can see now, okay, what am I spending by each of my ad groups? I'll hit the check, and then I can continue to create all these different visualizations here just to kind of show you some of the available fields within here. Let's just do a pivot where I can see my ad group name here. Oops. My ad group name. And if I want to see things like my average cost per click, or my, of course, conversions. Let's do impressions. So you can see all of the real live data coming right out of Google Ads here. I think that's good for this. So we'll do, for this one, we'll do ad group KPIs. So these are the main things that I'm now tracking. I want to change this to a currency. Oops, and I want to give this 2 fractions or 2 decimals so I can see my average cost per click like that. And then I'll hit the check. So a lot of your data, though, doesn't just stop in Google Ads. You need to be able to track data to Google Analytics to understand, okay, they came from my ad, they clicked on my ad, but what happened? Did they bounce off the website? What page did they go to next? And then from there, you need to be able to track with when they converted into a lead. Now, what's the status of that lead? Are they marketing qualified? Were they unqualified? And all that different stuff. So instead of logging into Google Ads, then logging into Google Analytics, then logging into your CRM, call it Salesforce, within these dashboards, you can pull together different data sources. So we have this staging here where I can connect now to Google Analytics. I'll select this data. And now I can look at my paid traffic sessions from Google Analytics. So if I pull over a month, and this is a staging site, so it doesn't actually have paid traffic, but I would be able to pull over if you wanted to filter by you're using medium. So if your medium equals CPC, or within your segments, how Google Analytics has that paid segment out of the box, which I'll show you in a second once I find sessions. And let's change this to be the same date range. And then in my segments, you can see all of the system ones here. So the out of the box ones that Google Analytics provides. If you wanted to look at your paid traffic, you can do that. But since it's staging, that'll just give me no values. So we will pretend and call it paid traffic. So now I can see the traffic that my ads are given. I can filter this down by your particular campaign. So I'm bringing together all of my different data into one dashboard here. I can also then continue and I can add in Salesforce data. I can add in Marketing Cloud data, HubSpot, and kind of get my full customer journey all in one dashboard. I'm going to, though, save this for now, and let's just call this, we'll just call it paid campaigns. And we'll hit the check and save this within this particular project. And now everybody that I'm working with on this project that's a member of this project gets a notification. Hey, somebody shared a dashboard with you, go check it out. You can see that it's now here within the dashboard tab. Everybody can click on it and open it. Just to note that if you do not have access to data within this dashboard, you cannot see the data. So what will happen is, say, Miriam in our copyright team comes and clicks on this, and she goes to sign into Google Ads to see this data. If she does not have access, she can't see the data. So there's always that level of security with the data sources and dashboards you create. So you kind of saw the different tabs within Slingshot. Some of our really powerful features, even though looking at this is very powerful, that you can do are what we refer to as productivity flows. So from this overflow menu here, I can start a chat, create a task, or start a discussion right from this data. So similar to not needing to go to Google Ads, to Google Analytics, to CRM to see your data. The same thing with taking action and collaborating on data. So I don't have to go to a different application for that. I can come right to start a discussion in the same project. I will start a discussion on, let's call it marketing spend. I'll click create. This has now created a discussion within that project with a live link right to this dashboard. that I can now come and annotate as well. So if there's particular things that I wanted to point out about this chart here, I can come annotate. I can say with the little oval here, let's kick our spend back up to get leads. Yeah.
We just had a question on, can you annotate charts? So this is good that you're showing it. And this is actually a really useful way to do it.
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to annotate this, click done. And my question to Miriam is going to be, why, when we were spending more, did we get less traffic? Now, everybody in this project has access to this conversation. They can come, they can click on this image to see the annotation. They can click on this dashboard to see the live dashboard. And then you can now have collaborative conversation around these insights that you've now shared. From there, maybe it was determined that we were spending in the wrong region. Now, this is something that maybe I want to take action on to adjust the countries within my Google Ads campaign. I can come to the overflow menu here. I can now create a task. I can go to maybe my lead gen campaigns and do a new section for Google Ads. I can name this, adjust the region targets. I can assign this maybe to Adele as the one that manages our Google. I can let her know, let's do it this week, and click create. You can see Miriam in here typing. Great, I assigned that to the right person. And now when I go to my tasks at the bottom here for the Google, I can come, Adele got a notification for this task. She has a live link also right to where that discussion is, that she can come back and refer to the data and the conversation that went on. And just like that, you have a very seamless flow of data to collaboration to taking action on those insights that you've discussed with your team, all without leaving a single application. So very productive in all these flows that we have that you can kind of see everywhere in our app. So in these overflows, when maybe you need to update your core deck template, instead of digging for that in SharePoint, you can come right to the intuitive place that it is within Slingshot, create a task for your lead gen project tasks. And now this doc is attached right to this task. You can name it, assign it out, and everything like that. And these pins connect directly into your different cloud providers. So you can pin things directly from SharePoint, Google Drive, OneDrive, Box, Dropbox. You can upload files. And then as you create tasks, or you can use things like copy link to send this out here to people, you're maintaining that same instance of each document. So we're not creating duplicates and copies so that you need to worry about things like version history and stuff like that. And I think that was it, Jason.
There was a couple questions. I answered a bunch of them, but there was one about, I understand Google, but we're not as advanced and we use Excel spreadsheets. Can I do the same thing with just Excel spreadsheets?
Yep. So actually, these don't have anything in them. So right from, again, your dashboards in here, this section has all of the files that I've used in the past within my account. But if you go to add a data source, as we know, Excel is one of the most common data sources out there. So you're not alone. You can connect right to Excel here, right at the top. But if I just pull in this one here, I forget what has data in it though. So you can see as from Excel, your columns appear over here on the left-hand side. And just like you were using data from Google Ads, you can do the same thing right here with your Excel dashboards.
Okay. This,
sources.
of course, you can export and do PDF, and you can do PowerPoints, and you can do all kinds of neat things as well.
Yep. So again, from the overflow, your exporting options right here, PowerPoint and Excel. Excel will actually also map directly to Excel visualization. So after your export, you can like continue to mess with your data, and that'll translate right to those charts that it's connected to. And then in PowerPoint, you can select the full dashboard to put on a slide, separate ones. You can give it descriptions. You can go through that same annotation flow that I showed you, add some nice branding to it. So by the time you hit export to PowerPoint, it's basically ready to go and present in a nice professional deck.
All right. And then there was another question about security. How does Slingshot handle security?
For data or content or both?
I guess just logging in, maybe they'll.
Yeah, so, I mean, the nice thing about Slingshot too is that it's written on top of Google and Microsoft. So we will, for content, inherit all of your permissions through your Google and Microsoft providers. We'll also, if you choose to give access to things like your contacts, when you go to start chats with people, they will appear right here if they're in your Google or Microsoft contact list. So you don't have to go searching for an email to start a chat to invite somebody in here. And then, yeah, with data, if you don't have access inside of things like Google Ads, you will not be granted access in Slingshot just because something was shared with you.
So there was someone that asked, and I already answered, but they said, oh, we use Google Data Studio, and they log in with their Google account. So that would be the same thing doing Google data here. And I said, the better thing about Slingshot is I can have in the same dashboard, I can have Google Data Studio, I can have HubSpot, I can have Excel, I can do a bunch of different things and even join those in different filters.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you can even embed Data Studio stuff into, right, like what you were saying, into the dashboards within Slingshot.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, there are a bunch of free options out there with these different tools. The problem is, going back to what we talked about in the beginning, is that you have to go to that tool to get that piece of data. I have to go over here, over there all day long. And we have white papers on this. We've done webinars on this, but you lose hundreds of hours a year switching between applications. So if you can stay in context with your team, being productive with data, collaboration, tasks, project management, etc., you're going to actually get more done throughout the day and make your life a little bit easier. So I think we will wrap it up with that. Casey, that was a great demo. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we will bring this home. So screen one, share, and that's it. Get started today. Everyone can start a free trial at slingshotapp.io. You can log in with your Google ID, your Apple ID, your Microsoft ID, or if you're an Infragistics customer, you can log in even with your Infragistics ID. So go ahead and start a trial. After your trial, if there's only a couple features you want, or you just want to use it for yourself, or you're a one-person company, there's a free version. It could be free forever. So you can still do some of the capability with the app without ever having to pay. But at the end of the day, the app costs about $20 a month. So it's not expensive for the results that you get using something like Slingshot. So thank you, Casey. Great demo. Thank you, everyone, for coming again. And I hope you have a great rest of the week, and we will see you at the next webinar.